Hello, we are CG6, and this academic year, we have had the amazing opportunity to work with Jason Toriano in a nonprofit organization Inkululeko, which he started just over 10 years ago after a study abroad trip to South Africa. He noticed a need to help support South African township youth and did just that through Inkululeko. In this slide, there is the Inkululeko logo, the LSA Global Scholars Program at the University of Michigan logos, a picture of our CG, and the title GEI Internship with Inkululeko, Collaborative Group 6. The current members of our CG are Sarah Gleason, Rachel Greenspan, Rachel Hilberger, Autumn Lynch, Cassandra Martinez, and Esther Park. Past members include Salman Chang and Tanya Zaragoza. Our CG facilitators are Chloe Halprin and Natasha Sutra. Project background: Makhanda, South Africa. Inkululeko is located in Makhanda, South Africa, and the effects of apartheid are still evident to this day, contributing to the societal structures that leave those in the township significantly more disadvantaged than those in the city. South Africa is considered one of the most unequal countries in the world, which is shown by this picture depicting a highway separating nice suburbs on the left, and to the right, there are our lower income housing cramped together with barely any greenery. Another infographic here says, "What is the condition of schooling in South Africa?" ? 1 in 4 schools do not offer mathematics as a subject for students in grades 10 through 12. Also, 80% of students in the most well-off South African schools score above the national average, just compared to just 22% of students in the poorest schools in the country. 28.3% of South African matriculants qualify for a bachelor's in the Eastern Cape. There are many schools that do not have water, electricity, or sanitation. 20.1% qualify. Lastly, 66.7% of white matriculants qualify to study towards a degree at university, while only 23.8% of Black matriculants.
What is Inkululeko? Inkululeko is a nonprofit organization based in Makhanda, South Africa that provides after-school tutoring and mentorship to structurally disadvantaged township youth. Inkuleko's mission is to provide South African township youth with the skills, support, and guidance necessary to apply, attend, succeed in university, to challenge the bigotry of low expectations for township youth, and to provide sustainable, positive change, student by student, generation by generation.
A summary of our work for this year includes 5 main internship projects. The first project was the creation of a study abroad trip to Makhanda, South Africa for University of Michigan students in the spring-summer of 2022. The creation of an itinerary plan for activities and excursions also included our second internship project, which was an intercultural communication guide. This was designed for tutors as well as other people who plan to work with Inkululeko in the future. Our third project was a virtual tutoring program between Inkululeko and University of Michigan students. The fourth project was a blog post of Inkuleko's website, and our final project was aiding and marketing for Made in Makhanda. This is an Inkululeko initiative intended to spread the word about locally made South African products.
One of our first big projects was to create the itinerary for a study abroad trip for the summer of 2022, allowing University of Michigan students to travel to Makhanda. On the slide, we have an image depicting the start of our itinerary, which reads, University of Michigan Global Scholars Program Cultural Exchange to South Africa, Freedom through Education, Enterprise, and Empowerment, summer of 2022. During this cultural exchange, Global Scholars Program students at the University of Michigan will travel to Makhanda, South Africa to learn and collaborate with Inkululeko staff and students. Inkululeko is a nonprofit organization that empowers socioeconomically marginalized students through after-school educational support programs. Students in the course will work with Inkululeko to assist in educational programs, run workshops, and work to improve Inkululeku's social enterprise, the Common Ground Cafe. For the rest of the itinerary, firstly, we designed all of the pre-departure coursework. We took into consideration all of the program outcomes for both U of M and Inkululeko students. For example, for U of M students, we stated, understand how to operate a small business in an environment by engaging with members of that community. For Inkululeko learners, we included recognize existing assets and expand on developing management skills for the cafe through interaction with University of Michigan students. Additionally, we created assignments for U of M students to do prior to departure. Next, we designed the workshops that would be completed while in Makanda. This includes workshops focusing on management, social enterprise, entrepreneurship, mental health, self-advocacy and empowerment, activism, and feminism and women's rights. We also fit into the itinerary time to improve the Common Ground Cafe, a social enterprise run by Inkululeko in the township. Thirdly, we built in time for intercultural exchanges and community building, including speed friending, language and cultural lessons, focusing particularly around Xhosa, the native language in South Africa, music and arts discussion, as well as cultural cuisine exchange. Lastly, we included time slots for U of M students to support Inkuleko's tutoring initiatives.
Our second internship project was the creation of an intercultural communication guide. This was created for tutors, future interns, and other people who volunteer or work with Inkululeko. The importance of this intercultural communication guide is to highlight the value in intercultural exchanges. Although it is valuable to engage in intercultural experiences, it is also important to understand that everyone in each culture has unique manifestations of communication styles. It is essential to keep an open mind as everyone comes from different backgrounds and experiences. Gaining deeper understandings and greater cultural awareness can be achieved through effective communication, which is outlined in this guide that we created. The intercultural communication includes readings, videos, and other assorted materials such as some background on Inkululeko, background on South Africa and Makanda and the cultural and historical context, different tutoring strategies, and additional language context. Finally, we took a note out of GSB's book and included some valuable dialogue guidelines that we thought were relevant and applicable for our intercultural communication guide.
Virtual tutoring program. This was our main project during the second semester. We emailed different departments and organizations at the University of Michigan to recruit more than 20 volunteers to tutor Inkululeko students through WhatsApp, and video chat. In each email, we included an interest form for students to indicate their availability and subjects they were interested in tutoring. The possible subjects included math, English, history, and science. Then, tutors attended a virtual orientation session hosted by Inkululeko when they were introduced to Inkululeko and what they would be doing as tutors. In order to keep tutors connected with Inkululeko staff throughout the program, we created a Podio workspace online.
Blog post. Another project we had worked on was the blog post titled Global Scholars Program at University of Michigan and Inkululeko Celebrate Years-Long Partnership. This was to go on Inkuleko's website, and it was a summary of our work with Inkululeko that included a quote from each member of our CG reflecting on their internship experience with Inkululeko.
Made in Makanda is an Inkululeko initiative to support local South African artists and manufacturers in Makanda. Many of the products on this slide are earrings, necklaces, bracelets, book covers, photo frames, t-shirts, and even natural soap, all made by Andiswa Stofu. To support this initiative, we made a collage of their products and reached out to many different organizations. Some examples include the Center for Education of Women Plus, Africa Business Club, African Studies Center, which are all inside of U of M. Outside of the university, we reached out to the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, a few journals, and businesses.
Challenges. Ranking internship choices. When ranking internship choices, all of the internships seemed like wonderful opportunities, but now I think we all can agree that we feel like we've done great work for our supervisor Jason and for Inkululeko. Juggling multiple tasks at once. At first, it was a struggle to have this new internship on top of school, work, family, friends, and whatever else we had at the time. Our supervisor gave us tasks that involved a lot of computer work, which is expected because of the coronavirus. But after 6 months of quarantine, all of the online time just adds up. Each CG member having very different schedules. The first semester, there were 10 of us, so finding a time to meet up with Jason every week was difficult. We wanted everyone to feel included, but we had to make the tough decisions of how many people we could fit into the meeting. Learning everyone's different communication styles. In the beginning of our Inkululeko journey, it began with us getting familiar with each other, the members of CG. We learned early on that half of us took charge and spoke up more often than others, so we had to learn to balance it out. We talked about it and we realized that we all wanted the same thing in terms of allowing the quieter group members the space to share ideas and participate while giving the more active members a break.
Learning outcomes. As a team, CG6 gained a lot of knowledge regarding the acquisition of new understandings of nonprofit organizations in South African apartheid. This includes learning how a grassroots nonprofit like Inkululeko is able to make a significant impact on the lives of township youth in Makanda despite working with a limited budget, experiencing firsthand how resources and support can flow from the US to Makanda while engaging with Makanda community members to support the best possible experience for Inkululeko learners, and finally, learning how structural racism caused by apartheid remains present in South Africa today.
Learning outcomes. With respect to professional skills, we learned how to effectively communicate in a remote setting. Despite not meeting many of our CG members nor our supervisor in person, we still managed to produce quality work by ensuring consistent communication via email, GroupMe, and Zoom. We learned about marketing strategies when spreading the word about the virtual tutoring program and Made in Makanda. Finally, we gained experience in program planning while creating the study abroad program to Makanda and the virtual tutoring program.
Impact. As a result of our fall semester, we were able to create a study abroad program to South Africa that will be available to future GSP students beginning summer 2022. This will aim at strengthening the relationship between the University of Michigan's GSP program and Inkululeko, as well as fostering mutually beneficial relationships between students at U of M and Inkululeko. Following the completion of our itinerary, our outreach also resulted in connecting various University of Michigan students to Inkululeko students through WhatsApp for the purpose of creating a tutoring program, further resulting in forming connections between the two programs. Lastly, we bring attention to a new means of funding for Inkululeko through promotion of Made in Makanda.
Citations. OneDrive from Inkuleko's staff, The Guardian, and Made in Makanda. Thank you, Inkululeko. Thank you for listening. We have greatly appreciated the opportunity to work with Inkululeko to advance its mission and learn so much from the Global Engagement Internship experience.